Okay, hello again. This is Thomas Tennis at my beautiful tennis academy here in Southern California. And have you ever gone to a kids tennis tournament and watched these kids hit the balls like pros with great topspin, and they just look incredible. They look like pros, and when they come walking off the court, they're about this big. They're tiny. How come they can do it? But you're wondering, why do they do it and why can't you do it? And the reason is pretty simple. It's because they learn by rote memory and programming, and you learn tennis by going to a tennis pro and learning things that will make it so that you will never in your life hit a good tennis ball. So kids can learn it. They can program. Like if a kid hits 1,000 balls and about 5 of them happen to luckily be the right way to do it, well, they program that in their brain and they can remember that. So the next 1,000 they hit, they're going to hit 500 out of the 1,000 well. And then after they do it for a little while, they're doing it all correctly. They don't do anything. I'm going to show you in this video that they don't do at all what is being taught by teachers. So they're just programmable. But they arm the ball, and you are taught not to arm the ball. You're taught to hit with big muscles. What are the big muscles? Is it your shoulders, your hips, and all that? So are you taught to, how do you hit the ball with your big muscles? Or how? The other thing that you're going to be taught is extension. You know, to do this, all you're going to do is push balls, and you're never going to get good topspin. You're never going to hit any kind of really good tennis shot, and you're going to continue going to junior tournaments wondering, how do these little kids look like tennis pros, and why can't I? And the answer is you can, but you've got to do things that are totally against everything that everybody is taught, like arming the ball. You hit the tennis ball with your arm and your shoulder, but mainly the main power source is your arm. If you take a look at this, how far does my arm move this racket head? 8 feet in 1/2 a second. How far can my shoulder move the racket? That far? The shoulder alone? My arm can move the racket 4 to 5 to 6 times farther in 1/2 a second than my shoulder can. So your power source is your arm. So what you've got to do is learn to properly swing your arm. Now I'm going to show you some videos of prodigy kid tennis players, and they hit exactly like the pros do. And these kids are lucky enough to do it correctly and then program their brain so that they wind up hitting correctly quickly. The kids, of course, that can't do that, they wind up being not good tennis players or quitting. So when you hit a tennis ball, it's mostly arm. You want to drive your shoulder, your back shoulder forward. And you're going to see the kids do this. How do they learn this? They learn this, but nobody really teaches it to them. They're going to drive their shoulder forward, not rotate. You don't spin. It's not a spin, it's a drive of this shoulder towards the target. And the other thing you're going to see them doing is driving their upper arm all the way around their body. So they wind up over here. So when you see kids doing this, hitting like this, and when you see pros hitting like that, and then you go to a professional teacher and they tell you to don't arm it, use the big muscles, extend through, you're going to be forever a weak tennis player. And in my opinion, that's why we have pickleball, because it takes so long. Why does it take an adult years and years and years and years? You still can't hit a very good ball. Here are these little kids in these tournaments. They play for a couple of years and they're great players. They start at 8. By the time they're 12, you go watch them play, and they play like national champions, all of them. So it's just because they can program the right thing. If you're an adult, you can't. So when you hit a tennis ball, it's going to be your shoulder and your arm, and you're going to watch these guys go all the way around their body like that. They don't ever go like that. They never go like this. The old Vic Braden way is to sit down and then go up and follow through like this, and then maybe bend your elbow. That's a bunch of malarkey. So it's kind of like a whip around your body, or like you're throwing something. If I threw my racket head at the ball, if I want to throw my racket as far as I could, I'm not going to go like this. I'm going to go like that and let it go right about in here. But if I hang on to the racket, look where I follow through. Here. I don't follow through out here. I don't follow through here. If I'm going to throw this racket as far as I can, and that's a kind of a good way to learn how to do it. Take some rackets and go out on the grass and throw them as far as you can, and you'll find out if you hang on to the racket and you don't let it go, that's where you wind up. So I'm going to put on here some kid prodigy tennis players. Watch what they do with their arm. Watch their shoulder. It's really funny how you can look at a video of some of these kids hitting and pros, and your teaching pro will tell you, see, he's not arming it. Well, they're arming it. Arm the dang thing, but you got to make sure it's a full swing with your arm. Now, if you do something like this, or you limit your arm swing, well, you're for sure that's going to be arming it. That's something, you hit something like this and the ball goes nowhere, and then your teacher will say you're arming it, and then you go back to trying to use the big muscles. Forget the big muscle thing. The big muscles are your arm, okay? So use your arm, go all the way around your body. Don't limit it, just like you're going to throw a racket. Just throw that racket, and look where I wind up. If I don't let go of the racket, it winds up over here. And watch every single pro, that's where their follow through winds up. Go way over back here, pointing to the back fence or farther. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and have fun. Okay, let's watch these kids. Now these are prodigy kid players. Why are they prodigies? Because they do it right. And they do not do what almost every professional tennis teacher teaches. They don't extend, they don't straighten their arm. Watch their upper arm go all the way around their body, and their racket does too. Much like throwing a racket at the ball and not letting go. So, okay, now here is a professional tennis player doing the same damn thing. Look at his arm. He uses his shoulder, drives forward, and his arm goes all the way around his body.